we're live. Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Yank Soccer Bets. This video is going to be a little bit different. I'm only going to give my thoughts on some of the top transfers that happened in this summer window for some teams, since there's no games going on in the Premier League because of the international break. Who likes these fucking international breaks, huh? They're so pointless. I mean, especially when they're friendlies. They're just, De Jong just came off. Didn't even play for Netherlands because he had a small issue with one of his legs, and now he's gonna be bad for Barcelona. So hopefully he's not. But that's what these international breaks do, man. They just injure the players. So when they come back to their club, they're out. They're out. If you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe, guys. I really appreciate it. Last week I gained over 30 subscribers and over one video, so I really appreciate that, guys. I really do, because it really makes me see that editing these videos and stuff like that is worth it, and that you guys are watching. Or leave your comments, guys. What do you think is the most outstanding signing that happened this summer in the Premier League? Which one stood out to you, and which one you think is gonna flop, and which signing you think is gonna do great? Whatever. Let's get right into it. So I just want to I didn't write down every single transfer that happened in the transfer window in the Premier League. I just wrote down the ones that stood out to me, and just I want to give a little bit of my thought on it, on each transfer. So the first one's gonna be Thomas Partey, who went to Arsenal for 50 million. I think that is a great transfer for Partey. He was great for Atletico Madrid. Simeone had him playing really good in the center, and I think he's gonna strengthen that midfield next to Xhaka and stuff like that for Arsenal. And I think Arteta really sees this player in his plans. And any player that's 27, in between the ages of 27 and 31, I think that's their prime years. I think this is where they have enough knowledge of the game, they have enough wisdom, they have enough skill, they have enough technical ability where they can make smart decisions and have the experience of playing in big matches such as Champions League matches or big moments, So I think he's at his prime, 27 years old, to Arsenal, and Arsenal are going in a good direction with Arteta coming in and Lacazette and Aubameyang scoring goals. So I think that's an exciting transfer there. The other one is from my fellow team, is Willian, who went from Chelsea on free, who went free to Arsenal. I think he's 32 years old. He was a great goal scorer at Chelsea, and I think he's only going to strengthen Arsenal's front line. I know Arsenal have a lot of young players who can play up top, but I think Willian can give them that experience, and like I said, that knowledge, that wisdom. And he's good at free kicks, he's good at penalties. He was the kick taker at Chelsea, so for free, you can't go wrong with that. I know he's a little old at 32 years old, but like I said, for free, you can't go wrong with that. Next transfer is for Man United. It's actually a couple. The first one I want to talk about is about Alex Telles, who went for 17 million. In today's market, that's not a lot. For a left back, that's not a lot. At 27 years old, again, into his prime years, he's a good attacking fullback, and I think Luke Shaw needed a good push, a little kick in the ass. That way, there's some competition for the left back position, because I feel like if there isn't no competition, then certain people know that they're gonna get into the starting lineup, so they stop giving it their all. So when you light a little fire under their ass, they both need to compete, so they both start trying to play at their best. And Alex Telles is way faster than Luke Shaw, so up top he can provide way more. The next one is Cavani, that just came in a couple days ago, right before the deadline. That is a great transfer as well. A free transfer. I think you can't go wrong with free transfers. And Cavani, a goal scorer like Cavani, over the past couple years, Man United has had big strikers, big center forwards, like the likes of they've had Rashford. I know he plays in the wing, but they have him as striker sometimes. They've had Ibrahimovic, they had Van Persie, and now Cavani, who I think is going to be very solid. I know he's 33 years old, but I think he's going to score goals for them. And again, the experience. I think Cavani was a great chance for him. There was talks of him going to MLS and stuff like that here in the States, but I think he still wants to prove that he can still fight for for in the top leagues. And I mean, with the World Cup coming up in a couple years, I mean, when you play in the MLS, you're pretty much granted not a spot at your national team. So I think he still wants to play at that World Cup. And the next one is, I think, arguably the most exciting transfer that Man United made, which was Van de Beek from Ajax. He came for 39 million, and that includes add-ons, like winning a certain amount of games or scoring a certain amount of goals and so forth. At 23 years old, young, he's the future. I think he's a great center midfielder. I mean, I think he could do it all. He has a little bit of everything. I mean, he can defend pretty well if you want to have him like in the center and tracking back, or he's a great passer of the ball, so you can have him up top as a CAM, as an attacking midfielder. I think that's his best position as a attacking midfielder. I know we have the likes of like Bruno Fernandes, and I mean Pogba's a little more center in the center of the park, but I think he's a great signing. He's in his debut he came in and scored a goal, and they unfortunately lost that game. But Van de Beek looks like a nice little spark in an aging Man United midfield, so he's going to be very exciting. The next signing we have is Bale to Tottenham. That's probably the one I'm most excited about. I mean, we'll get to my team Chelsea in a bit, but I mean, Bale hasn't played at Real Madrid. He's had so many problems with Real Madrid fans, with Zidane, with players. People not. I think everybody just lost respect for Bale, and I mean, granted, he kind of fought fire with fire by saying certain comments, taking certain pictures, saying that he what do you call it? He prefers golf over playing for Real Madrid and stuff like that, And for there's a certain point when I thought that Bale wasn't going to leave at all because he just wanted to stick around for the money because he had a nice fat check coming in without even playing. But I mean, as a football player, as a soccer player, you want to play, you want to get on the field, So coming back to Tottenham, I think Tottenham are looking good lately. I know I keep saying I can't trust Tottenham. I don't think they're going to come in top 4. I think they have a better chance of coming in top 6 now with Bale and with a couple of other signings that Mourinho has been doing. He's been really getting in his signings, and he's very picky of his signings, and he really wants to get that money, that backup with the money, so Mourinho can buy players that he wants. He's 31 years old, so I think he still has that. I mean, at least 2 years at the top level, and he's extremely fast, extremely strong. So yeah, that's going to be a very exciting signing. The next team I want to get into is my team, Chelsea, who brought out the big bucks this summer, man. Lampard really got a bunch of players early on into the summer window, and granted they haven't been playing as expected, but I think it's because they got so many new signings. They don't know how they play with each other. I mean, you can kind of see little signs of like Havertz and Werner really connecting as because of that Bundesliga connection, that chemistry, coming from the same league, the same style. We still haven't seen Ziyech because of the injury, and then Chilwell's looking great in the last couple games he's played. I mean, I think he's going to be very, very solid in the back, and going forward, Chilwell looks very exciting. Granted, I never saw much of him at Leicester City. I never really paid attention to him, but now I'm very excited for Chilwell. Thiago Silva came in for free. You can't go wrong with that experience. I know he's 36. He's pretty old. A lot of people are doubting him, but I think he has that experience, and I mean, I'm really biting my tongue right now because he just, on his debut, he made 2 horrific mistakes that really cost Chelsea those 3 points. So, excuse me, I'm over here fucking dying. But yeah, I mean, I think Thiago Silva, he'll grow well. He'll grow into the team once he learns the language and once he starts getting used to the pace of the Premier League. I don't think he's going to play every game, so Lampard needs to know how to manage his games and rest them. And then we got like Havertz, like I said, who again hasn't been showing what he's worth. I think he disappears a lot for games. Like he shows little glimpses, like he'll give a nice little touch here or there, or he'll give a nice through ball, but he disappears for a lot of the game. And for somebody who's worth about 80 million, you need to be on top of your game every single game. And you're young. You're at 21, so I guess I can give you some leeway. That you can argue that, he still lacks some experience, and knowledge of the game. But I mean, he really needs to step it up because Pulisic is coming back, and there's so much firepower going up top that I don't think if you don't step up your game, then you're gonna get benched. And we've seen with Lampard and Kepa that he's not afraid to bench you. He doesn't care how much was on your price tag, and he'll bench you. Which is a good segue to my next point, which is Mendy, the French who just came in for 25 million, 28 years old. I think perfect. I've seen little glimpses of him. He's played really well. It's always a little easier for a goalkeeper to get to know a new league because it's a goalkeeper. I mean, I'm not belittling goalkeepers. I used to be a goalkeeper myself, but let's be honest. It's a completely different position as to getting the rhythm of the game on the field, in the middle of the park, up top, and so forth. So Mendy is a great signing. I'm excited for him. Finally, they got a bench. They're gonna bench Kepa, which, I mean, granted, I think he's a good second keeper. I think he's better than Caballero. So as a good second keeper playing like in the Carabao Cup, I don't mind it. But yeah, let's move on. Next signing is for Wolves. Wolves actually just signed a player from another one of my teams, which is Barcelona. And their right back, Semedo, at 26-year-old, they signed him for 35 million. I think he's definitely worth it. Semedo's coming into his prime years. He didn't play as expected in Barcelona. He even admitted it in an article. He said that he had difficulties adjusting to the Barcelona way and playing and being at the top level, being at one of the biggest clubs in the world. The pressure and the style of play, it's very difficult to adjust to. But I think Semedo's a really, really good player. I think he has that pace. I think he needs to work on going forward. I know Wolves have Traore up top on the right. I know Traore switches from left to right, but I don't think they really need him that much going up top. I know the style of football / soccer now is like, the fullbacks need to be going up top. They're more of attacking wingbacks than an actual right back or left back. So he needs to work a little bit on going forward. I think at the back he's pretty solid. I know Alphonso Davies just smoked him in the in the Champions League. When Bayern won 8-2. But Semedo, I think, is He's a solid player, and I think he'll fit perfectly in the Premier League. Next team I want to talk about is Everton, who made great signings. I think their signings have gone underrated. They're one of the only teams, if not the only team. I think there's two. I forgot the other one, but Everton for sure are the only team that came into the transfer window. That came into the international break with a perfect record, 100% winning. They have won all of the games since the Premier League started, and their three signings have been that stood out to me is the midfield. James from Real Madrid, who again wasn't playing, just like Bale. Allan from Napoli, and Decore from Watford, who just got relegated. So I think all the players are at their prime. I mean, look, a lot of these players are like 29 years old. They're at their prime. James is showing he's shining every single game. Allan is a good, solid midfielder. Decore as well, nice and strong. So Everton are looking good. They're looking scary. I don't think they're gonna make it a top 6 because they're gonna be fighting against like top teams such as like Tottenham, Man United, Chelsea. When they start playing the big teams, I think they're gonna start dropping a couple points. But as of right now, man, they're flying. They're definitely in form right now, and I'm excited with their signings. They're such a fun team to watch. The next team I want to talk about was Leeds. Leeds just signed Rodrigo from Valencia. I think he's an exciting player. Again, he's at his prime, I think, like at 29 years old. He's a strong forward striker. I saw a couple of games of him in Valencia. And you can see little glimpses of him. He needs to get used to the league a little bit. It's the Premier League is obviously a way tougher league than La Liga. La Liga is a little more technical, pass and move. And we all know the Premier League is a lot more physical. It has a lot more physical center backs, like the likes of Laporte, Van Dijk, and many more, right? So I was about to say Harry Maguire, but he fucking blows. Okay, so So yeah, I think he's gonna be an exciting talent. He shows a little glimpse, and I'm excited. At Leeds in general are an exciting team. I don't know how I did not watch them in the Championship, but I'm definitely watching all their games that I can, obviously, in the Premier League. The next team I wanted to get to is Liverpool, and their signing of Thiago. I think that is a great signing. I mean, some might argue that's probably the best signing in this summer window, and I can see that. I don't think it is maybe exactly. I think he goes head on head with a couple of Chelsea signings, maybe that Bale, maybe a couple Man United signings, but Thiago at 29 years old, at his prime. I mean, Liverpool were fighting against Barcelona to get him. Barcelona wanted him, but they for some reason they prioritized Wijnaldum when Thiago's a way better player, way more technical, and he came from Barcelona. So why not go for Thiago? I don't get that. But Liverpool for getting him, I forgot his price. It was somewhere between 25 to 35 around there, and what a steal, man. I think he's shown little glimpses of what he can do, and at Bayern he was extremely solid. He was the man of the match in the Champions League final, and it's exciting. I mean, Liverpool's midfield is already super strong with Fabinho, Henderson, and now Thiago. I mean, Liverpool, other than that fucking 7-2 defeat, right? But against Aston Villa, they just have such a great team on paper. On paper, obviously, I'm gonna stick to my word on my bets. I don't think Liverpool are gonna come first or second. I think they might come third, to be honest. However, I do think they're gonna come back a little bit harder from the international break. I do think Klopp is gonna get on their ass for losing 7-2 to Aston Villa. That is crazy. But let's move on. Next team is their rivals, Man City, who just signed Ruben Dias, center back from Benfica, 23 years old, for 80 million. I read an article. I forgot exactly how much it was, but you know how much Man City have spent on defensive players in the last couple of years since Pep joined? It's extremely crazy, and the amount of goals Man City are letting in. They Man City and Leeds, I think those. See, if I'm comparing these two teams, that just goes to tell you. And how much have Leeds spent as compared to Man City? They're both teams that score goals, but they let many in. So it's all up for them. Granted, I think Man City can score way more goals than Leeds, so that's why Man City are going to come on top of the table, somewhere near the top. So that's basically the game plan. You know, they brought in Ruben Dias and Ake to hopefully solidify the back line, but Ake, I don't think he's the best player. I think he was kind of a desperate buy, and because you know Pep likes his left center back to be left-footed and right center back to be right-footed, so he needed a backup for Laporte with that left foot on the left center back position. That's why they got Ake. For 41 million, I think that's a lot for someone who's going to relegation. I think, and with Bournemouth, I think Ake should have been more around 25 max. But at 41, that's crazy. And then they obviously brought in a youngster from Valencia, Ferran Torres, who's 20 years old, 25 million. I think that's a good buy. I haven't seen him play that much, but he looks like an exciting player that's gonna come into his own. So yeah, it's gonna be a tough battle this Premier League, and I'm extremely excited for this Premier League with all these amazing signings. You know, I send my friends on Instagram. We have like a group chat. We send each other all the signings. Like, oh shit, like look who's coming in, look who's leaving, blah blah blah, so forth. And man, this season is gonna be amazing in the Premier League. It's already been crazy. Even with the bets, it's been hard to guess some of these bets because we're getting scorelines like 7-2, 6-1. With Man United conceding 6, Liverpool conceding 7, Chelsea coming down 3-0 against a team that just came out of Championship in halftime, being 3-0 down. It's insane, man. I love the Premier League, and I'm so excited. Oh, and then one more player before I end this video. It's actually Callum Wilson, who went to Newcastle. I think he's a great signing too. I've seen 2 Newcastle games. They're not the best games to watch, especially when they play a lower team like, I don't know, like Burnley or something. But Wilson really looks like he gives Newcastle something different, you know. And then when Saint Maximum isn't playing, or what's his name? I forgot his fucking name. He just came from MLS. Atlanta United. You know what I'm talking about. It starts with an A. I forget his name. But when he's not playing, Newcastle needs some fire up top, and I think Wilson brings that. He brings in hard work, and I think that's a great signing for Newcastle. But yeah, guys, that brings me back. That brings me to the end of this video. These are just some of the transfers that happened in this summer window in the Premier League that really stood out to me, and I just gave you my little thoughts on them. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. But yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and then I'll probably release some more content next week. I'll figure out another video to do for you guys. But yeah, guys, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.